Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into part two of our focus on the basic concepts of microeconomics. But we're going to take a standard textbook concept and totally transform it into a really fascinating look at our own daily desires. We're deconstructing human wants. Think about it. If you've ever wondered why you suddenly absolutely need that brand new gadget you didn't even know existed 5 minutes ago, or why you just can't stop scrolling for something to buy online, well, this is the explainer for you. It's going to be fun, so let's break this down.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a clear four-part roadmap today. 1. What is microeconomics? 2. Defining human wants. 3. The 7 characteristics of wants. And finally, 4. Classifying human wants.
All right, starting right off with Section 1. What is microeconomics?
So to really understand human desire, we've got to establish the economic sandbox we're playing in, right? We aren't looking at massive global trade today. Instead, we're doing a sort of macro to micro zoom. We're zooming all the way in to look at you, at me, and at local businesses. As the economist Kenneth Boulding famously put it, microeconomics is the study of particular firms, particular households, individual prices, wages, incomes, individual industries, particular commodities. You hear that repetition? The absolutely crucial point is right there in the words he repeats, particular and individual. This whole branch of economics is literally all about the specifics.
Moving right along to Section 2. Defining human wants. Now that we know we're zooming in on the individual, how do we actually define what they desire? I mean, in everyday conversation, we toss the word want around pretty casually. But in economics, a want denotes a very specific feeling. It's a lack of satisfaction. And that is honestly pretty profound when you think about it. It's this restless, underlying lack of satisfaction that acts as the core engine driving all microeconomic activity. It's what forces an individual to get up and take action. Without that nagging feeling, the entire economic machine just grinds to a halt.
And, human desire doesn't just happen in a vacuum. Over time, our wants have absolutely exploded in number. Economists point to 2 really basic reasons for this. First, our desire for better living expands right alongside new inventions and innovations. Every single time a new piece of tech drops, an entirely new web of wants is created right along with it. Second, it's just a numbers game. The rise in population means more individuals are out there experiencing that exact lack of satisfaction. So more people plus more innovation, that equals a literal explosion of human wants.
Which brings us nicely to Section 3, the 7 characteristics of wants.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how we can break down human desire into 7 distinct traits. Let's start with age. Wants drastically differ based on how old we are. Think about it. A young child's primary want is usually a brightly colored toy. Fast forward to a young adult, and that desire completely shifts to wanting mobility, speed, maybe a little thrill. So, hello, motorcycle. Then, as we move into our elder years, our wants shift yet again, usually toward quiet comfort and intellectual engagement, something like a really good book. We quite literally age out of our desires and into new ones.
Characteristic number 2, wants differ with the seasons. Our external environments totally dictate our desires. When the sun is shining outside, an umbrella has virtually zero utility to you. But man, the exact moment those clouds open up and it starts pouring, nature creates an immediate, highly practical, and urgent want for that exact same item. The environment changes, and boom, our wants instantly adapt.
Okay, let's rapid-fire the remaining 5 traits to give you the whole shebang. Number 3, wants are unlimited. The second one is satisfied. Another instantly pops up to take its place. 4, they're recurring. You eat a massive meal, you're full. But guess what? A few hours later, you want food again. 5, they differ with gender, based on different practical or social needs. 6, they differ due to individual preferences, your unique habits and tastes. And finally, number 7, wants differ due to culture. Culture heavily influences our most fundamental choices, like the specific foods we crave or our dressing styles. So between culture, gender, and habits, our recurring needs just endlessly multiply.
And that leads us to our final stop, Section 4, classifying human wants.
So, with all these different traits, how do economists actually organize them into workable buckets? Well, the first major classification is economic versus non-economic wants. And this brilliantly illustrates a vital contrast. Economic wants involve a monetary transaction. You literally have to pay a price, hand over some cash to satisfy that lack of satisfaction. We're talking about buying groceries, paying for medicines, things like that. On the flip side, non-economic wants are the free goods provided by nature. They are completely satisfied without you ever opening your wallet. Think of the absolute basic human need for breathable air or warm sunshine.
Next up, we delineate wants by who exactly is experiencing them. On one hand, we have individual wants. These are satisfied purely at a personal, one-on-one level. Think of a doctor needing a stethoscope. That object serves that single person's highly specific function. Conversely, we have collective wants. These are social wants that we experience and satisfy as a group. Taking a commuter train is a perfect example of this. The train satisfies the collective want of hundreds or even thousands of people who all need transport at the exact same time.
And finally, economists classify wants through what is essentially a natural escalation of desire. It's like a ladder. At the very base, we have necessities. These are the absolute basic requirements for human survival: food, clothing, shelter, health, and basic education. Now, once those are firmly met, we graduate to the next rung: comforts. Now, these aren't strict survival needs, but they make life remarkably easier. Think about having a washing machine or a pressure cooker instead of doing those chores completely by hand. Then, at the very top of the ladder, we hit luxuries. These are purely for pleasure and enjoyment: an air-conditioned luxury car or a massive, well-furnished house. We just naturally climb this ladder as our means allow us to.
So we've zoomed all the way from the broad textbook definition of microeconomics right down to the highly specific, constantly multiplying nature of your own daily desires. And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. Take a second and just look around the room you're in right now. Think about your last few purchases. Which of those wants were truly basic necessities, and which were just part of that endless, multiplying cycle of desire driven by your preferences, your culture, or some slick new innovation? It's a pretty fascinating framework to apply to your own life, isn't it? Keep learning, keep analyzing everything around you, and I will see you in the next explainer.